Good evening, everyone. This is Deepa Purushottam from Redikall team, and welcome Dr. Anand Patil to our summit on stress management today. We are at day 3 and the final session. We already had so many interesting and insightful sessions in last 2 days. Today we have Dr. Anand Patil, who is leading psychiatrist from Nasik, who is practicing since last 25 years and helping people to manage their mental health. Dr. Patil has done his MBBS from JJ College, Mumbai, and his MD in psychiatry from Nair Hospital, Mumbai. Along with his psychiatric knowledge, he has also taken additional skills on handwriting analysis and the art-based therapies. He's having excellent listening skills, and his tailor-made approach for each of his patients is the hallmark of Dr. Anand Patil. He has 70-bedded hospital at Nasik. He runs his rehabilitation center. And in spite of his such a busy schedule, he's so keen to spread the awareness about the mental health. He's been often invited at a lot of schools, clubs, companies, wherein they invite him to speak on the subject like marriage issues, stress management, sex education, and many more. So let's take this opportunity today to hear from Dr. Anand Patil and learn a lot from him. So handing over to you, Dr. Patil, please. You may unmute, please, sir. Are you able to unmute yourself, Dr. Anand? Yes.
Maybe you can make him co-host.
Yes, we have done. Dr. Patil, I have made you the host, co-host, so you can share. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepa, for the kind introduction.
Thank you.
And thank you, Uma, for inviting me here. My regards to Atman and hello to everyone. It's such a lovely idea to have a summit on stress management because stress is everywhere. It's in our homes, at work, on the road when we are driving, in our relationships. And sometimes it feels like, we are living life on a treadmill, running faster and faster, but getting nowhere. So such a summit is so useful. I attended a few sessions and they were really informative and thought-provoking. So I congratulate the team for having this idea of conducting a summit on stress management and such a variety of topics and variety of speakers to gain from. So every person is different, every person is unique, and different things will click for different people. So it's a lovely idea. So like I said that we are in this hurry, we are in this rat race, and we are running and running, like running on a treadmill and getting nowhere. And you know what's fueling this treadmill? Greed. Yes, greed. That's the topic for today. Man, a greedy animal. Man, who is supposedly the intelligent evolved species, is still a greedy animal. In spite of all the progress, more money, more power, more possessions, more success, but it's never enough. And in this endless pursuit, we are literally stressing ourselves to ill health. So that reminds me of a small story. There was this man who did the landlord a great favor. The landlord was elderly and he did a lot of seva, took care of his ill health. And the landlord had a lot of property. So he said that, I would like to give you my property. I have two sons, I have distributed some property with them and there is still so much left. but I don't know how much to give you. So I have a proposal for you. So in a day's time, whatever property you could walk and circle around that property and come back before sunset, I'll give it to you. So this man was such a noble person who was helping, doing seva, thought that this is the reward for my goodness. This is my lifetime opportunity, and let me make the most out of it. So he thought that I should get maximum property so that my generations to come will be taken care of. And he starts early morning and then walks. It's summertime and there's a lot of heat, but he still walks and walks and walks and walks. And he thinks that I have so much land, there should be water body. So he wants to have the river also within his premises. So he takes a big detour, goes around the river and comes back. And he's tempted to go a little further. He's calculating, before sunset I have to reach. But he's tired by afternoon. And still he goes on and on, on and on. And then he realizes that he should turn back, otherwise he'll never make it. And he's already exhausted. And he tries very hard, to make it before sunset. He literally has to start jogging, running, so that he makes it in time. And he gets really exhausted, dehydrated, and really tired. And he just makes it in time, when he makes it in time to the beginning line. He's so tired, so exhausted, so dehydrated that he collapses. Out of exhaustion, he has a heart attack and he dies. So this particular story tells us that such a noble person, when consumed with greed, can end up in such a way. So greed is never enough. It is insatiable. So let us understand what is greed. What is greed? Let's break it down. Are we greedy? See, if I tell you, if I meet someone and tell you that do you know that you're greedy? So people will be taken aback and they will say, no, not at all. You don't know me. Don't judge me. But people are greedy in various ways, in various aspects. There are people who don't have enough. They want more. And there are people who have enough and they still want more. There was a survey which was done amongst millionaires. There were 2,000 millionaires who were interviewed for what do they have, are they satisfied with what they have, and majority of them were not satisfied with what they had achieved. So in that survey, there were people who had mansions and they have flourishing businesses and real estate and luxury cars. So one of them was asked, have you made it? Are you satisfied with your progress? He says, I've not reached where I have planned. I'm still not happy with what I have. I don't have a private jet. So likewise, there were many people who were interviewed, and people realized that in spite of having so much, a life, which most people would dream of having, still they were not completely happy and satisfied. They were still striving for more. Their dreams were getting bigger and bigger. So after achieving a few goals, they were going after the next goal, next level goal. And in that pursuit, they had to stretch themselves, and there's always a cost to pay. So if you're striving for something, there is a cost to pay. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes strategies, it takes a lot of management to achieve things to the next level. And there is a cost to pay. It takes time. So that time is limited. Everybody has 24 hours in their day, and you have to cut corners somewhere, in the other roles that you play. So we are an individual we are a husband or a wife, a friend, a son, a daughter, a sister, a brother. So we are performing so many roles. And if our occupational success takes up a major part of our day, then definitely our other roles, they suffer. So it's like going to the gym and exercising only the upper part of the body and not exercising the lower part enough. So the body grows in a disproportionate way. The thin legs and good biceps, but that's not a balanced, healthy body. So likewise, why are we so greedy? Why is it never enough? So let's understand. We'll have to go a little deep in our past. So our biological roots. See, our ancestors were wired for survival. Like in those past prehistoric times, they had to go out, to hunt and to get things. And there were harsh conditions. There were rainy days. There were winters, cold winters, hot summers. So they had to accumulate things for the difficult days. So they needed to go out, face the danger. There were wild animals. So there was a risk they used to take every day, and they used to hoard a lot of things, for the rainy day. So that has come into the genes. And in spite of making so much progress now that we have everything, we have everything at the tip of our fingers. If you want some food, if you want to order something, within 15 minutes it comes on the app. If you want ready-made food, you can order food in half an hour. But still, our brains are wired in that survival mode. And many of us are hoarding a lot of things, not just food, but money also, status, and our possessions. So these are the days of the apps, with Amazon and the Flipkart and the Myntra. And there are so many offers every day. 50% discount, 60% discount, buy two, get five free. And those offers are so irresistible that you don't need so much. You don't need that particular product, but you are buying it just to get that offer. Maybe you'll need it someday. I have people coming to me where they have a whole room, specially dedicated for the things that they buy. One of my patients, his mother would say, "Doctor, we can start a shop now." So this hoarding, that I'll need it somewhere. I'm getting a good bargain. I'm getting a good discount. So that is like greed. There's some insecurity, some void that this person is trying to fill. Saving for the rainy day. So all these, have roots in our prehistoric times. We need to be aware that we are out of that era. We are now in a modern era where things are available. We have education, we have good jobs, we have good businesses. There are so many things that you can do and monetize. So we are in the best of times, in this internet era, but still we are operating from a scarcity mindset. And of course, there is the social race. We compare ourselves constantly to other people. So in this era of Facebook and Instagram, where people post a lot of lovely pictures of their vacation, of the new car that they bought, and when you see that picture and you think, that no, I also need to upgrade my car. Though your car is just 3 years old, it's still working fine. It's just run 60,000 kilometers. But still you think that, I need to, you feel small, looking at other people's cars and houses and their vacation photos. You're on this holiday weekend outing and you see on Instagram that, one of your friends, he's in Maldives, and such beautiful landscapes. And, you think that, your weekend trip is not much in compared to that. So you lose the fun of your weekend trip. Isn't that pathetic? You're not able to enjoy what you're doing, what you're having. So tell me, how many of you have posted something on Instagram and you have kept checking for likes? How many people have liked? Who has liked? Most of us, we crave for digital validation. More likes, more followers, it feeds our ego. But in this process, we become addicted for superficial approval, stressing over algorithms and filters. Last time I had 121 likes and 22 comments. But this time I got less likes. I have to do something more. I have to do something different. So people, tend to do all sort of funny things, just to get attention. Sometimes, they tend to do controversial things also, to attract attention. And many a times they make a fool of themselves just to seek that approval, that's social validation. So is your happiness, is your joy, happiness dependent on whether other people like you or not, then your remote control is in their hands. And also, there is an illusion that if you have more, there will be more happy. So many of us believe that if we have more things, better car, better house, bigger house, better holidays, we'll be happier. But let me ask you, when you just started working, when you got your first paycheck, do you remember how excited you were? It was just the beginning. It was a small salary, but you celebrated, you enjoyed, you bought gifts for people, for your family members, your friends, and you were really thrilled about, that your career has started, and you had plans, you have dreams of making it big. And now fast forward to today, now you are a senior, your salary has increased almost maybe 5 to 10 times of what you first got. But do you have the same excitement now? No. Why? Because we keep moving the goalpost, we keep upping the bar, and you become familiar, with that happiness, that it doesn't sound so exciting anymore, and you have the next goal to achieve. So we all know there are so many people who own multiple properties. They have a flat where they live, and they have invested in a weekend home, in a farmhouse, and they hardly go there. They're just paying maintenance charges every month. And there is one more piece of land, and they want to invest there also. This greed to get more profit, it really drives up the prices. Making homes unaffordable for many other people, who need it. Yet they continue to buy just to own some more, to feel more secure and to feel wealthy. So having monetary wealth is not being wealthy. It's not the only definition of being wealthy. Real wealth could be in various forms. In fact, monetary wealth, definitely one parameter. But if you're happy, if you have peace of mind, if you're happy, satisfied, if you're content, if you have time for your family, if you're enjoying your wealth, if you're giving time to your relationships, if you're spending time for yourself, for your hobbies, for the things that you really like, so that would be being wealthy. But it's not just monetary wealth that will make you wealthy, but it's a combination of so many things, which would encompass a more holistic definition of wealth. And on the larger level, human beings, as a human race, we have been exploiting this earth so much. The environment, the forest, the kind of concretization that is happening, cutting of trees, the climate is changing. So we are utilizing the resources left, right, and center without thinking about the future. And all this industrialization, the pollution of the air and water, and for profits, for monetary gains, for more industries, more luxuries. But what is the result? There is climate change. There are certain species which are getting extinct. There are natural disasters. There are floods. There are famines. There are droughts. So our greed, under the name of development, we have been really draining the earth's resources. This greed is really going to be very costly. And then there is greed between countries, greed for power, greed for more space, land, oil, power. The way China is encroaching on the neighbors in all ways, on all fronts. It's really very disturbing. The greed to dominate, the greed for power, the greed to dictate terms. That has resulted in so many problems, so many. And these wars, they have resulted in countless deaths and suffering. And then there is corporate greed. There are corporations, there are companies, pharmaceutical companies, they hike prices of life-saving drugs just for profit. There's so many oil companies who lobby against cleaner energy sources just to maintain their dominance. Very often the pursuit for profit often outweighs human welfare. And then there is food and water hoarding. There's so many. Do you know that that only a few multinational companies control most of the world's food supply? While they profit immensely, millions are still facing starvation. And then there is technological greed. Tech giants collect massive amounts of personal data just for their profit so that they can push their advertisements. Our privacy is compromised for the ad revenues and shareholder gains. So this greed for data and dominance has made us vulnerable to surveillance and manipulation. So as individuals, we hoard money, possessions, and validation. And as a race, we exploit nature, wage wars, and prioritize profit over people. But here's the thing. Our greed is making us more and more stressed, not happier. If we want to reduce stress, we must consciously choose simplicity, gratitude, and contentment. So let us understand how greed is connected to stress. It's like the rat race syndrome. Imagine you're in traffic running late for an important meeting and you want to make an impression by being on time, and you are in a traffic jam. You're honking, you're fuming, you're stressed, you're cursing people. India has no traffic sense. There's no way that you're going to get there in time. And everybody is thinking, it's other person's mistake. In this situation, you're helpless. Anyways, you're going to get late. What's the point in honking and fuming and cursing? Sometimes you have to accept the situation. Maybe you can make a phone call explaining your situation and explaining that you will take half an hour more to reach, and you're sorry for the inconvenience. And just because you have to wait, you have to go slow, you might as well enjoy some music in the meanwhile. So that when you reach, you are in a better frame of mind and not restless and anxious, and you can have a better meeting. I'm so busy. The people take pride in being busy. So we glorify busyness. By working 60 to 70 hours in a week, does it make you successful? It makes you sleep deprived and cranky, and it imbalances your life. It takes a toll on the other roles that you have in your life. Under the name of productivity, it's like a self-inflicted punishment. There's an imbalance in life. So how you define your success, how you define your happiness, that is all that matters. And of course, like we said, the more money, the more things to handle. Take an example. Previously, initially, when you started working, you had a smaller salary and you had your expenses and you had very small savings or no savings. And when you got promotions and you got increments, you had a better salary. Then you started buying things. You got a bigger TV, you bought a car, you bought a house on EMI. And again, you had no savings or very, very less savings. So in spite of the increase in salary, you were still not saving enough, not investing enough. So it doesn't mean that, if you earn more, you'll be wealthy. It all depends on what your attitude is. That reminds me of a small story. Uh, there was this uh, businessman who had a wonderful bungalow. So a little distance from his bungalow, there was a piece of land where farmland, which was still not developed. And there was a farmer, who had a small farmhouse. He had a small family. And this businessman would, watch in the evening that this farmer would come from the farms, sit on the charpai, and his wife would get him a glass of water and some tea. And then his children would come, and they would come with their dog, and they would be playing around. And it was such a lovely sight to watch. And the businessman would, think that, this man who's not earning so much seems so happy. But I am earning so much, but I don't feel that kind of happiness. So what is the reason? So he shares this with one of his friends, and his friend says, "Oh, the reason is it is the 99 rule." So this businessman asked, "What is this 99 rule? Let me demonstrate." So this friend goes to that farmland in the middle of the night and digs a hole and puts a bag of gold coins in that hole and just covers it in a way that it would be easily detectable. And the next morning, this farmer discovers, this bag of gold coins and is thrilled. He says, "Wow, what a stroke of luck! Oh, all our problems are going to go away." And then he and his wife and the children, they're overjoyed and they're counting those gold coins. And they count it to 99. And the farmer thinks, how can it be 99? It should be 100. So he counts it again. And the wife counts it once more. And that initial joy of finding gold coins reduces a little. They're wondering, 99 coins, it should have been 100. So let me make it 100. Let me work a little hard and make it 100 gold coins. Then it will be lovely. What a lovely number. And then he tells his wife, let us, work more, let us buy some cattle, let's do the milk business. Let us, earn some more money so that we can, buy one gold coin and make it 100. Then he tells the children also, you should help us in the farms. And the whole family, they start working more hard. And this businessman is observing, the atmosphere in the house has changed. They're not relaxed and happy and satisfied and content like before. They're on the go. And every day, they would discuss, what else can we do to make it, faster. And this farmer's wife, she says, "Are we have some gold coins now? Why don't we use a little?" The farmer says, "No, no, wait, wait. Let me make it 100 and then we'll use." She has a lot of desire, to buy a gold necklace for herself. She's been dreaming of that. So the farmer doesn't agree. So she quietly takes a gold coin and goes to the jeweler and orders a necklace for herself. And every night the farmer would, make sure, he would coin the coins. He would count the coins and, "Oh, how come there are 98 coins only?" He counts again and again. And then the wife tells, "I got this necklace for myself." And that farmer is so furious. He says, "What? I've been working so hard to make it 100 and you have spent one gold coin. Now we have to work for two gold coins now." So they have a lot of quarrel, and the whole family gets disturbed. The children are afraid. They never saw their parents fighting so much. It's easier for them. They develop this greed to have more, and then lost their peace. So this is what we do in our lives also. For a bigger house, for the dream house, for a bigger car, we toil so much. We go out of the way. We do multiple hustles, and there is always a cost to pay. I think there was a network problem. Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yeah. 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 So what do we do about this? Now we have seen that greed increases the stress in our life. And I was saying, so should we not be ambitious? Should we not aspire to do better? Should we not aspire to do more progress? So ambition is good. Having goals is definitely good. But you should always ask, okay, what is the cost to pay? In order to achieve these goals, what would I need to sacrifice? What would I need to compromise? Always ask this question. And if the cost to pay is bigger, then think twice. Reframe your goals, rearrange your goals, modify your goals, and try to achieve a balance in your life. So, what is the antidote for greed? One of the antidotes for greed is gratitude. So, we have a lot of things. We have a lot of things that we can be grateful for. But if we keep focusing on, the grass is greener on the other side, if you keep comparing ourselves with other people, then you're not going to be happy. You're going to be restless. You're going to be insecure. You're going to feel small. So, whatever situation you are in, wherever you are, if you're able to be at peace with it, accept the situation gracefully, then take steps to make progress, that's a better way of doing it. So, operating from scarcity and trying to have more is one way of doing it, which makes you restless. But first, being comfortable, being accepting of what you have, being grateful for what you have, and then taking steps to progress. That's a better way of doing things. So let us learn to be grateful for whatever we have. There are so many people, who would love to have a life like ours. We need to keep reminding ourselves, of what we have. What are we thankful for? What are we grateful for? So, like if we have a morning and an evening ritual of, taking a few minutes, couple of minutes, just to be thankful for what we have, that would be great. Because gratitude rewires the brain to focus on what you have and not what you don't have. So you have an abundance mindset, and then the restlessness is not there. And of course, we need to redefine success. We need to change the definition of success that we have. Everybody's definition is different. Achieving material goals is not the only scale to measure success. It should be a more holistic definition. So success should also include your health, your peace of mind, meaningful relationships, quality time together, and having time to do things that you always liked. So we have been having a lot of dreams, a lot of likes, hobbies, but most of us, we tend to keep it aside under the pursuit for more occupational success, monetary success. So many of us, who were good at painting or singing, we loved going out on treks, nature walks, movies. But in the pursuit for occupational success and monetary success, we kept things aside. And eventually it became so much a part of our life, to keep things aside and just focus on the monetary success, that we lost those things. So sometimes you say, in my college days I used to sing songs, but nowadays I don't do it anymore. I'm out of touch. I lost touch. So things that used to give you joy, happiness, don't matter so much to you now. So it's time to redefine success. There will be ups and downs in life, but if you're able to take those ups and downs gracefully, if you're able to smile in spite of your troubles, I think that could be also a measure of your success. If you can learn from failures, if you can learn from mistakes, and become a better person, I think that would also be success. If you have a good attitude towards life, if you're more human in your approach, I think you would be a successful human being. From the attitude, it reminded me of a story I would like to share. There was this village where there was this elderly man who had two sons, and he realized that he's elderly now and he's not well. It's time for him to go. So he carefully distributes the property between the two brothers. Wanted to be fair, but he has a dilemma. He has two rings. One is a gold ring and one is a silver ring. Now he thinks that, how do I distribute this between the two brothers? So he tells them only to decide amongst themselves who would take the gold ring and who would take the silver ring. and the elder brother is eyeing the gold ring. The younger brother realizes that, and he says, "You are my elder brother. You've always guided me. You've always watched my back. I think you should take the gold ring, and I'll be happy with the silver ring." And the elder brother is thrilled. That's what he wanted. So they part ways. They have built their own houses. They start plowing their own farms. Their father passes away. So the younger brother wears that silver ring. He looks at the ring, always looks at the ring and says, there is something written on the ring. It's written, "This too shall pass." So he thinks, this is my father's message to me. I should remember this. And then they have a very good season, agriculture season, and they have huge profits. And the elder brother is excited, he's thrilled, he's so happy with the success that he got. And he says that, I should have a better lifestyle. So he buys a tractor, he buys a big TV, and he buys a lot of clothes, and is very happy with the success. And the younger brother is also thrilled with the success, but the ring keeps reminding him. The message on the ring says, "This too shall pass." And he says, "Okay, I have to be grounded. This was a good season, good, but agriculture, you never know. There are ups and downs. So let me save some of the money that I have earned." So he carefully saves a part of the money and uses part of the money to further uh, reinvest in the farming, buys a few things in the house. And the next year, there is drought, and they have a very bad agricultural season, and they have losses. They don't even recover what they invested. And the elder brother is devastated. And he has bought the tractor and the TV on EMIs. And he's wondering how will he repay those EMIs? Maybe they will take away the tractor and the TV. He's very depressed. And the younger brother, he's also upset. He's also worried. The season was not good. But the ring keeps reminding him, this too shall pass. And he says, okay, it was good that last year I saved a little money, which I can use now. So seasons come and go, but their attitude determined how they fared, whether they were happy, satisfied, content, or they were upset, depressed, and devastated. So having a good attitude towards success and failure is definitely a sign of success. Because ups and downs will come. But if you can handle them gracefully, I would say you are successful. So whatever growth you are pursuing, whatever ambitions you are pursuing, and if you pursue growth with purpose, you should define success holistically. Include health, relationships, peace of mind, along with the financial and career growth. That would be a better approach. And of course, if you integrate ethics and compassion in your approach, that would be very helpful in the long run. So that reminds me of a pharmaceutical company who had the patent for a life-saving medication. And then they decided that, since they have the patent for the next 3 years, there will be no competition. So they really priced the medicine at a very high price, thinking that, even the poor, because it is life-saving, they will anyhow, some way or the other, find money to have it because it is life-saving. And they made huge profits in those 3 years. But there was a backlash. There were forums, which were talking about them on social media. They were taking interviews of the poor people. and the company, pharmaceutical company, the name, the reputation suffered. And it was just a matter of time, when the patent permission was shared with other companies after 3 years, and there were other companies who came in, and then there was competition, and there was a competitive pricing, and the other companies, they got a bigger share of the medicine, the sales, because the previous company's reputation had suffered. So though they made huge profits initially, but in the long run, they could not sustain those profits. And in the meanwhile, they had invested a lot, in further researching, and those huge costs, made ultimately the company into great financial stress, affecting the health of their CEO and the owners and the promoters. So in the long run, lack of ethics, lack of compassion, had a toll on that company's profits. Most of us have one basic problem. One basic problem. Most of us have one basic problem. Many of us, we think we are not enough. There is something that is lacking in us. Most of us think that we don't have enough. We are not enough. We don't have enough. And that is the cause for suffering for most of us. Very often, the reason is comparison. The reason is deep-rooted scarcity mindset, insecurities. The reason is unrealistic expectations, ambitions. This feeling of not being enough, not having enough, takes away the joy of experiencing what you have. So once you realize that this is happening with me, if you reevaluate, if you reframe your thoughts, you will realize that whatever you have is good enough. If you really assess what do you really need to be happy, to be comfortable, you'll realize that all those things you already have. Then why are you so restless? To have more, to have that, you're losing your peace of mind. So once you realize that, and once you start reframing your thoughts and belief systems, you start becoming comfortable with what you have and experience peace and joy and contentment. Then you realize this is a better life. So the next time, if you feel the urge to buy something impulsively, pause and ask yourself, do I really need this? And you'll be surprised that many of the times the answer would be not necessary. I already have 4 pairs of shoes. One is a sport shoe, one is a party shoe, one is a official shoe. Why do I need one more pair of shoes? In your busy routine, there are so many commitments. A commitment on the work front, there's commitment on the house front, home front, there's commitment with our extended family members. So do you need to attend every party invitation? Do you need to attend every function, which you're thinking about it's being too much, this is tiring me. What will they think? We invited him, but he did not come. So what would people think if that bothers you a lot? Then you're in for trouble. You have to learn to say no where it is necessary. And you can still take care of your relationships by explaining why you could not come, why you did not attend. There are very good ways of communicating and explaining things rather than taxing yourself and stretching yourself and making it. So if you learn to say no where it is required, it will definitely reduce a lot of our stress. We can choose quality over quantity. In the possessions that we have or the experience that we choose, we can always choose quality over quantity. So if you let go of the need for excess, it will declutter our space also and declutter our mind also. Many people open their cupboards and there are so many t-shirts and shirts, and they don't have space, and they still are going for the offers, pay for 2 and get 3. So if you're buying new clothes, if you're buying new shoes or whatever thing that you're buying, make space in your cupboard by giving away some of those clothes or shoes which are not wearing regularly. Like the 80-20 rule. Many people, if they have 100 clothes, there are 20 clothes, which they use most often. And there are 80% of the clothes, they use it very sparingly. And I'm sure out of that 80% of the clothes, there will be 10-20% of the clothes which they hardly use at all. So if you identify that and give it away to some needy person, you'll feel free, you'll feel lighter, you'll have space in your cupboard, and of course, you'll declutter your mind also. So these small things, small steps that you take to declutter your house, it reduces a lot of burden on your mind. It frees you. There is a feeling of relaxation. There is a lighter feeling, right? So learning to say no, learning not to overcommit is very important. Not only at workplace, but in your social obligations also, in your family life also, with your children, with your relatives. And you can, communicate it in a very nice way without disturbing the relationships. So learning to say no is a very important skill that all of us should learn. For that, we need to prioritize. We should have this mindful prioritization. So don't chase many things at one time. Evaluate what is most important for me, what is meaningful for me, what is the purpose. These questions, they will help you. They'll guide you to choose what to take up now and what to keep aside. So focus on meaningful goals in your personal and professional life. And there will always be work, there'll be more work, there'll be newer goals. But find time, block time for your family and friends and for your self-care. So if you plan your day or if you plan your week, first block time for your near and dear ones and for your own self. And in the remaining time, then you can, allocate the time for, whatever other important and urgent things that you have. Have a date night with your wife. Have time together with children. Find time to nourish your hobbies. And around that, schedule your other important tasks. Usually it's the other way around. Most people, they schedule their occupation, their other hustles. And if there is some time left, they use it for their family members or for their personal life. I would say do it the other way around. Because anyways, your work demands will make you find time for it. You might as well find time first, block time first for yourself and your family members and your friends. This way, you'll have a good balance between work and personal and family life. Like they say, all work and no joy makes Jack a dull boy. So whatever you're doing, ultimately you're doing this to become happy. But all work and no joy, if it's going to affect your life adversely, then what's the point in running so much? So do it the other way around. Block time for yourself and your family members first, and then allocate time for other things. And of course, to tackle all the challenges that you have, to balance your life between work and home and personal life, you need to be efficient in prioritizing, in time management, in stress management. So have healthy routines. Incorporate some time for exercise, pranayam, some time for meditation. Many people, they are so caught up with mobile addiction, social media addiction, watching reels, Facebook videos, YouTube videos, that they lose track of time. When people use this kind of entertainment as a reward for all the hard work they did throughout the day. Now they think, now I had a very busy day. Now I need to enjoy myself, rewind, unwind, relax. And for that, they use their mobile phones. So instead of having conversations and spending time together with family members, they're busy with their phones, looking at some instant entertainment, but which is very superficial fun. There's no depth in it. And there is a blunting of that fun because of repeatedly watching those videos. There is a blunting of that fun. Not funny anymore, like before. And it's so captivating that they don't realize that it's 1 hour that they are scrolling their phones. And they have already crossed their sleep time. And because they have this sleep deprivation, they sleep late, then they tend to get up late. And then they compromise on the time for exercise and pranayam and meditation. And hurry. Sometimes they miss their breakfast also to reach the office on time. So that's how our social media addictions, phone addictions, it takes a toll on our other healthy activities. So I have a suggestion for you. People have alarms to wake up in the morning. I would suggest you put an alarm maybe at 10:30 in the night or 10 o'clock in the night or 11 o'clock in the night to keep your phone aside, and it's time to sleep. Instead of having an alarm for waking up, you can have an alarm to remind you to go to sleep on time so that your next day doesn't get fired. So have healthy practices, healthy rituals for your physical health, for your mental health, for your social health, for your spiritual health, for your social health. We can have healthy practices. Exercise. If you have less time, you can do Surya Namaskaras, which requires less space, less time, and it is a wholesome exercise. You can have breathing exercises. You can have meditation on the breath, and other so many simple, easy, dynamic, and passive meditation. And you don't have to have 20 minutes at a stretch to meditate. You can even meditate for 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes is better than no meditation at all. Or you can have 3-minute meditation two or three times in a day. And definitely throughout the day, take small breaks. If you take small breaks, disconnect from the technology, keep your phone aside, go for a walk, climb stairs up and down. So instead of having a cigarette in the break, you could have, stay away from those unhealthy ways of handling stress, like smoking, drinking. You could engage in conversations. You could call up a friend, you know, and connect with him. Connections, human connections, they reduce a lot of stress. So take small breaks that prevents burnout, and it can definitely improve your productivity. Find some time, 5 to 10 minutes for self-reflection, contemplation, writing your thoughts and feelings. You could have 5 minutes of doing nothing, not planning for what to do next, not looking at your phone, not thinking or planning, just being in the present moment. You could have 5 minute break. It could be revolutionizing. Try it. And practice moderation in all your ambitions, in your activities, in your hustles, and in your lifestyle. That will help you have a good balance in your life. Like we discussed before also, have goals, definitely have goals, but have reasonable goals, have achievable goals, have small goals. And then once you achieve them, celebrate those victories and then go for slightly bigger goals. Don't have goals which will stress you out. Have smart goals, achievable, reasonable, and definitely have goals which has purpose along with it. So be kind to yourself, be fair to yourself, be kind and fair to other people also. So whatever you do, always ask, is this going to benefit me? Is this going to harm me in any way? I'll have some benefits, but if it's going to harm me in some way, if there's a cost to pay, bigger cost to pay, then think twice. Also ask, is this going to benefit other people? Is this going to harm any other people? These questions will help you make good choices. So your life is all about the choices that you make. All throughout the day, you're making choices, you're taking decisions. You took a decision to come and attend this particular session. You took a decision to enroll for the 3-day summit. You attended the morning yoga. You attended the various sessions. There's a lovely meditation at 9 p.m. also now. You're making healthy choices. And also you have a choice to avoid unhealthy choices. You have a choice of what to eat. Ask yourself whether this is good for me or not. So the quality of your choices and decisions will determine the quality of your life. And of course, there's true satisfaction, there is true success, in a holistic way. You'll experience that if whatever you do is, helping you grow and also contributing to the well-being of others. So, have those kind of goals, which will help you grow and also contribute to other people's lives. And whatever you do, instead of being goal oriented, if you are process oriented or you are effort oriented, you'll be happy every day. Because if you follow the process, if you take efforts and relish your efforts, enjoy your efforts, whether you have success or not, but if you focus and enjoy your efforts, you'll be happy today. You'll be satisfied today that you did what was in your hand. And someday when the results come, whether you get the results, favorable results or not, but you'll be happy every day in the journey. So if you get success, if you achieve the goal, well and good. If you don't achieve that goal, if you don't have success, you may be disappointed for one day, but you have a whole lot of many days of happiness and satisfaction because you enjoyed the process, you enjoyed the effort. So have this approach of being effort oriented and process oriented, one day at a time, and you'll have a better life. So celebrate small wins, celebrate your efforts. Don't wait for massive achievements, enjoy the process. Celebrate regularly. You can pre-celebrate also. It boosts your motivation and reduces that constant need for more and more. because you're happy and content, with what you did, so that greed reduces. So basically, in all this discussion, we realized that greed leads to stress, and simplicity can lead to peace. So simplify as much as possible. You don't need more to be happy. You need just enough. You are enough, and you need enough. You don't need more to be happy. And prioritize peace over possession. Prioritize experiences over possession. So that will help you keep the greed in check, and you will have a happier and more content life. So I've been talking for a long time. So we could have some time for questions or sharing comments.
Yes, Dr. Patil, it was a beautiful session. Like how through small stories you made us understand that even a greed, whether at micro level or macro level, how it affects our stress level. I mean, this factor many of us would have just ignored. We wait for major events to experience the stress. But ongoing, we are experiencing so much of stress. Thank you so much for enlightening us. Like I open up the session for our students to ask you the questions, if they have any. You may raise your hand and ask the question. So we are already getting very good comments. It's an excellent session. Anuradha is saying so many powerful live sessions explained with simple stories and practical tips. Thank you, sir. Amazing session. Yes. Actually, you have given so many small tips. So like people must be wondering right now that all these small tips we can anyway implement in a routine life. Somewhere we knew, but your reminder today, it's kind of jolt that, okay, we can do it. So simple. So yes, it was very helpful.
Yeah. So we have.
Yeah, actually, it was so amazing, Dr. Anand. Thank you so much. It was so amazing that me and Chadia, my admin team, she's been messaging me, this is for you, this is for you. And I've been telling her, same to you, same to you.
And the reason why I chose this topic, because this was for me.
Yeah, actually, I can understand. So, the ones who, I mean, it works the best for us also. So I'm sure, but you were very calming and you gave us pointers which made all of us think. So thank you so much for the insight.
Yes,
So all of us,
Apurva, you want to say something? Yeah.
we have greed in various ways. Sometimes we have greed for knowledge also. We have greed for spiritual growth also. We have greed in various small areas. So we need to introspect. Where is the greed affecting me? In my life.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Sir, this question comes from my daughter. She also heard you. She also heard the stories. She asked me to ask you that when your favorite thing is in front of you, and how do you avoid that? Like, you are so tempted, it's your favorite thing. So, how do you approach that?
Yeah.
This question is coming from a 14-year-old, sir.
And it's a lovely question. It's a lovely question. It's a very
Thank you.
practical question. See, all of us we are, we have so many choices now. We have so many temptations. We have so many choices that, it is difficult to, choose what to take. And sometimes, it is difficult to say no to things. So, if we realize that, we need to grow as a human being, we need to learn a few things. One is to develop an ability to take no as an answer. Very important thing for any human being, who is growing. All of us are growing till the last day of our life. So the ability to take no as an answer gracefully, and the ability to postpone or to wait, ability to wait for things to happen or things to have things. If we develop these two things, we will have a lot of happiness and contentment in our life. Because you may get things easily now, but in later life, there may be situations where you'll have to hear no as an answer. You'll have to wait for things to happen, and that time you might become restless and impatient and agitated and frustrated. So if you understand that I need to develop these two qualities, learning no as an answer and to keep patience, to wait for things. So just as an exercise to develop these two qualities, you can say no to things or wait for things just as an exercise. So keeping the larger goal in mind of developing these two qualities, this goal will help you say no to something which is in front of you. Because ultimately it's going to help you grow as a person. So there has been an interesting study, which was a very long-standing study, where the study started when the participants were children. So they were given 2 marshmallows. Each child was given 2 marshmallows, and they were told that you can have one now and have one tomorrow. And they studied all those people over many years. So there were kids who took one marshmallow and kept one for tomorrow, and there were kids who ate both the marshmallows. And they followed up these children till they died. And the study showed that people who were patient, to keep that one marshmallow for tomorrow, they were more successful in their life. They were more happier in their life. They had better health. They had better occupational progress and monetary progress. So from that study, they developed this concept called emotional intelligence. So if your goal is to develop emotional intelligence, then you can, you remind yourself that, I want to develop emotional intelligence. So that is the reason why I have a reason to wait for the thing which is in front of me. So sometimes you reward yourself, sometimes you wait. Have a mix of both. So be kind to yourself sometimes and also stretch your potential sometimes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So in this era of instant gratification, we need to learn to postpone our desires and develop this quality, because life will not be the same. There will be ups and downs. There will be things that will go against our plans. There will be things that will come as surprises, as shocks. So these two qualities will help you handle those situations more gracefully.
How beautifully explained, sir. Very nice. The emotional intelligence part, like everybody will buy that, right? Everybody wants to be emotionally intelligent. So yes, the small question asking to own self only helps a lot.
So to develop
Very nice.
develop the muscle of emotional intelligence, you have to work for it by deciding, let me try this. Let me postpone this till tomorrow. So take an example. How we used to have when my son was young, he would look at the toy shop and would say, I want this, I want that, I want this ice cream, I want this. So we had decided on a toy day once in a month, and then we had an ice cream day once in a month. So we used to tell him, that the toy day is over. So now the toy day is next month. So he would say, okay, I'll wait till next month. So this could be a small trick which you could use. So you could be kind to yourself. You could have ice creams once in a month. You could buy things once in a month, and then wait for the next month.
Planning and patience hand in hand.
I have one question. Shazia, they said, I'm just appearing with the name, face of Atman ma'am, but this is Shazia. I'm working as an admin team with Atman ma'am and Uma ma'am. So being a greedy, like we love Radical. Like all we are in admin, we love Radical and we love to work more and more. So is this type of work or doing this type of thing is also called greediness? Like we want more. Yes, we want more people to reach this Radical, more people we want to join. So is this a greediness or is it fine to be such greedy?
That's a lovely question. Yeah. So definitely, whatever you do more than usual, uh, there is need for moderation there also. But because you're passionate, because you have a goal in front of you, you have a mission that you want this knowledge to reach more and more people. With that passion, you're doing things. So there is a difference between doing things passionately and being greedy about it. So I think some greed would be good also, to get things done. You have to see whether it's harming you or whether it's harming people around you. These are the two questions you have to ask. If you are going out of the way too much, to promote your programs and to reach out to people, and if your family life is suffering, if your health is suffering, if you're skipping your breakfast just to get things done, then you need to think twice. You need to have some moderation.
Okay, so in that way, then we are very lucky. We are having very liberation in our office, and with the team, we are all work from home, and we can always have food, nashta, and everything in front of our laptop. Even we eat with our director also on a Zoom call with video on. So that all liberation we have. So I think then we are good to go with this greediness. Uma ma'am, we are fine. Jahan hai hum.
So whether it is beneficial for you, whether it is harming you, and whether it is beneficial for others, and whether it is harming others, these are the questions that you need to keep asking.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. This is a very, very profound things. I'm just listening, and it's we are all aware of things, but bringing it to notice is a big thing. Thank you so much.
And all of us, we require reminders.
True.
And this summit is a beautiful reminder for so many people. We have been reminded of so many things that we need to do.
Yes, very rightly said, sir. I mean, self-talk, self-reminder. And the beautiful part was like setting reminder alarm for sleeping rather than waking up. And these questions to ask yourself. Beautiful, small, small tips, but wonderful. Thoroughly enjoyed your session, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, anyone else who would like to ask the question? I guess no. So thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
I have a small
Yes.
video clip for you.
Yes,
for everyone.
please.
So let us have some fun also. So let me share my screen.
शिट, मैं अपना फोन भूल गया।
तुम हॉलिडे पे हो ना?
और तुम ठीक कह रही हो। ओके। Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Really?
हाँ।
ऐसा क्यों?
जो लड़के मुझे अच्छे लगे वो जिंदगी से कुछ चाहते थे, मैं कुछ और।
वैसे तुम्हें किस टाइप की लड़की अच्छी लगती है? What's your type?
मेरा कोई टाइप नहीं है।
Come on, सबका टाइप होता है।
अच्छा?
जैसे कि मैं जानता हूँ कि जिस लड़के को साल में सिर्फ 3 हफ्ते छुट्टी मिलती है, वो तुम्हारे टाइप का नहीं हो सकता।
वो किसी के भी टाइप का नहीं हो सकता। वक्त कहाँ है उसके पास? He's a slave.
और वो जो सिर्फ अपने करियर के बारे में सोचता हो, वो भी नहीं।
सिर्फ अपने करियर के बारे में सोचता हो तो he's a whore.
और वो जो पैसे अपनी जिंदगी में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज समझता हो।
जैसे कि तुम
मेरे बारे में कुछ नहीं जानती।
तो?
So don't judge me.
Hey, मैं तुम्हें जज नहीं कर रही, बस पूछ रही हूँ, क्या पैसे कमाने से तुम्हें बहुत खुशी मिलती है?
मैं 8 साल का था जब मेरे डैड गुजर गए, मेरी माँ के लिए सिर्फ ढेर सारा कर्ज छोड़ के। बहुत जल्दी समझ गया था कि ये दुनिया सिर्फ और सिर्फ पैसों से चलती है। सिंपल एज दैट।
आई अंडरस्टैंड अर्जुन, लेकिन तुमने मेरे सवाल का जवाब नहीं दिया।
हाँ, मुझे पैसों से खुशी मिलती है।
तो फिर उस दिन तुम रोए क्यों थे? डाइव के बाद कभी पेचेक मिलते वक्त तुम्हारी आंखों में आंसू आए हैं? नहीं ना? थिंक अबाउट इट। जब इतना कुछ अचीव किया है तो क्या खुश हो? अगर आज भी किसी चीज की कमी महसूस होती है तो वो क्या है? उन चीजों के लिए वक्त निकालो जिनसे तुम्हें सचमुच खुशी मिलती है, लाइक कुकिंग।
Yeah, well, that's the plan. I mean, 40 के बाद I'll retire and...
Dude, तुम्हें कैसे पता है कि तुम 40 तक जिंदा रहोगे? Seize the day, my friend. पहले इस दिन को पूरी तरह जियो, फिर 40 के बारे में सोचना। Come on.
हम यहाँ क्यों लेटे हुए हैं? I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous कि तुमने पहले ऐसा कभी नहीं किया।
क्या करूं? अच्छा खासा घर जो है लंदन में।
सिर्फ वो इंसान जो कभी तारों के नीचे नहीं सोया हो इतनी स्टूपिड बात कहेगा।
वाह मैन, जीना कोई तुमसे सीखे। मेरी जिंदगी तो जैसे एक बंद डिब्बे के अंदर कट रही है। But you're free. You're free, Laila.
अर्जुन, इंसान को डिब्बे में सिर्फ तब होना चाहिए जब वो मर चुका हो।
That's a lovely movie clip. So we should have such,
Definitely.
we should watch lovely movies, which will inspire us.
Yes, definitely. I mean, one clip and it reminded so many things.
Yeah.
Better start leaving from now. Like,
Right.
seize your day, friend, kind of thing.
So we have
With
choices.
that,
Yeah, we have choices. We can make healthy choices. We can make unhealthy choices. So I would just like to share one of my activities about people who make unhealthy choices to handle stress, like drinking, smoking. So I in this field of psychiatry, one of my areas of interest is de-addiction. Helping people give up alcohol, drugs, smoking, tobacco, gutka, all those products. So in Nasik, we run a rehabilitation center also for people who have bigger addictions. And I run a online quit smoking tobacco gutka program, for the smaller addictions. So it's a 14-day online program where in that 14 days, we have 28 sessions on Zoom. And, people give up their smoking tobacco gutka happily, not as a sacrifice, but happily. Just sharing.
wonderful. So, can you give us more information about that? Like how people can
Right.
find about that program on what website or something?
Yeah, you can search my dranandpatil.com website is there.
Okay.
And also, what I would like to share is, I would like to share a QR code for my community. Dr. Anand Patil Foundation community, where people can come to know of my activities. I have a YouTube channel also, which has 260 videos. So I've posted a few things so that anybody who might just stumble upon it might get some take home message.
Yes, definitely, sir. Definitely.
So shall I share the QR code for my community?
Yes, you can.
Just a few seconds. Just a few more seconds.
No problem, sir.
Or I'll share the link to join the community.
Or you can just share me in my WhatsApp. I will share in the group itself. No
Yeah,
worries.
that can be done. Also, I'll just share it in the chat box here.
Yes.
So people can join this community so that they will come to know of my activities and all those videos that I post, small short videos, which might help in some or the other way.
Yes, that's a good gesture. So many people they need these days. So yes.
So it's a lovely activity that Redikall is doing, and
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
need of the hour.
So, yeah. On behalf of the Redikall family, we thank you once again for joining us and giving us such a wonderful talk in form of stories, small examples, and tips. Definitely lot to carry back. So thank you so much for joining, sir. Thank you so much.
It's a lovely audience. My best wishes to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you so much.